Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I just wanted to show you off the last of my 2016 pickups here that I got. So I thought I would get the stuff out of the way so it doesn't get sort of mishmashed into whatever I find in the upcoming year. For those of you that celebrate Christmas and things like that, Merry Christmas to you. I had a pretty decent one. I've already shown off some of the stuff that I got recently just because I was wearing a couple of shirts in the last videos there that I got for Christmas, a nice Zelda one and also a Nintendo branded one as well. So those are a couple of those decent things that my wife got me for Christmas. Also something that Santa Claus brought me, which is what I'm recording on right now. If you haven't noticed the last couple of videos, the video quality's probably been a little bit better than was previously. Before, I was using my Samsung Galaxy S4 phone to record pretty much all my videos. At one point I was using one of those action camera kind of things, but it seems to the battery of it has like faulted or died or something like that, so I kind of abandoned that plan with it. Decided to go for a Canon Rebel EOS Rebel SL1. There's the box for it. Obviously I'm recording with it right now so I can't really show you it, but that's the box that it came in. That's something that Santa must have got me on Black Friday, and I waited till Christmas to open it up, so that's a pretty good deal right there. That's the start of it. Now, as far as video game related things go, here's what I've got for you. So first thing was I went into a pawn shop, and I guess they had this marked oddly because I know this game goes for a little bit more than that, and usually this pawn shop pretty much just goes off of like eBay kind of pricing, so there usually isn't like anything really to find in there. I just thought I'd stop in because I had to go to the post office to mail out a few things kind of thing, and I just decided because it's next door that I'd stop in. I'm glad I did because they had Alien 3 there on the Super Nintendo, and they only wanted $5 for it, so I would pick that up all day long. The only major fault with it is there's a crack in the case in the back, or whatever, the cartridge in the back. There's a bit of a crack there, but I'm pretty sure I could just like glue that together and it'll look pretty much beautiful. So that's pretty awesome right there. I think I already have this in my collection. I'm fairly certain I do. So that one's just going to be something that I'm going to, flip and have a little more variety in my Super Nintendo quality or whatever, when I'm trading or things like that. So that's probably going to be one of the ones that goes into that trade pile kind of thing. Something else pretty excited to find. I went into a Tali's, which is actually in my hometown of Peterborough. I stopped in there just because I was visiting family and stuff like that for the holidays, and I decided to go into their thrift shop just to check it out, and I'm glad that I did. One of the things that I found here is this game right here, which is a Burnout 2 Point of Impact. Unfortunately, I made a little bit of an error here in doing this. I really hope that this game works. It's all complete and everything, but the disc is in like right awful shape. I think it's pretty scratched up, but I have a resurfacer, so I'm going to try that out, see if I can resurface it and get it looking pretty good. I didn't even look at it at the time. I thought, for some reason, I don't know why, I just thought it was good to go, and I didn't even look at it. Kind of a mistake that happens once in a while, but still cool nonetheless. Even the case itself is worth what I paid for it, so it was $4. With the case and manual, even if the game doesn't work, then I'll just be able to find like a loose copy of it on the cheap somewhere else. But pretty cool right there. That was one of the items, and I didn't have that one in my collection already. And then a game I do have in my collection, but I think this might be an upgrade for it, is Star Fox Adventures, and that one was also $4, which is pretty dope. It's not complete though, it just has a insert there, but the game is unlike the other one, which is kind of interesting, although I'm having a hard time getting out of the case here for a second. Is like pretty much mint, so I think that might be an upgrade for the one that I have. I'm not totally certain, but that'll have to double check. I just remember mine not being in the world's greatest shape, but artwork might be an upgrade too, so really cool right there for $4, definitely worth it. This next item I'm probably going to do a little more in-depth video on. This is like a fairly, not necessarily unique, I'm sure there's a bunch of them out there, but you wouldn't really find them in the wild, and if you're like a commenter like myself and not part of the media proper kind of thing, then you probably wouldn't see this. But this is super cool. I found this in a Tali's. I'm super pumped about it. It's a press kit from Nintendo. So this was an E3 press kit, which is really cool. I paid $3 for it, and it's awesome. Like inside you have basically like all the contents of what Nintendo would have given out to members of the press. for this, and this was from 2005, I believe, was the year on this one. Let me just double check. Yeah, it says 2005 on the disc right here. So this has a whole bunch of like images for the media and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to find a case to put that in, just to keep it protected and everything. But there's a bunch of like different pictures and stuff of gameplay, of videos and things. No, I don't think there's any videos on it, but there's like screenshots and stuff like that. So I guess if you were a member of the press, those would be like the images that you would use in your article or whatever. So really cool right there. And then also in there is a Capcom product catalog, which is kind of neat. I don't know if this, this might have been something that the person had like gathered up. I don't think it came with the Nintendo thing exclusively. So I think this is something that they probably were going around E3 and put this in the Nintendo envelope that they had gotten. But it has like everything in here. It's really cool. It has like the Capcom Classics collection, like descriptions, everything. I'm probably going to go through this in more detail because you guys probably can't really see that. But it has like Mega Man X collection, Okami, like really cool stuff here. Like all the Capcom games that were coming out. Beautiful Joe, for 2005, 2006, I would imagine. Mega Man 5 Battle Network, Double Team DS. So like a whole bunch of stuff, I guess. Maybe it is just for Nintendo. I'm not sure fully about that because it does have like DS titles. So maybe this is a Nintendo exclusive. Oh no, because it shows some PlayStation 2 games right there. Like I said, I haven't totally gone through everything here, but really cool product catalog from back in the day kind of thing. And then also came with like the accompanying documents that would go along with it. What's really cool about 2005 and this particular release set is this is like the introduction to the Wii. So all the stuff in here is actually GameCube things for the most part, but then this is the E3 where they announced the Nintendo Revolution, which became the Nintendo Wii. So here's like a list of all the games that when they were coming out, like, there's Donkey Konga 2, it was coming out June 3rd, and then they have like other ones where it's just like the month that they're coming out. Harvest Moon, Another Wonderful Life came out in September kind of thing, and that's sort of like the release schedule for their games. So that's really cool, and that was the GameCube one, and then the DS one is here, the release schedule for that. Then the Game Boy Advance one as well is also there, so that's really neat. The release schedules for those games, pretty cool. And then it also has like in style with Nintendo's software lineup, so it has like a little descriptions for like a whole bunch of different games like DS and GameCube games. Really cool right there. And then press release, this is the I'm trying to figure it out, kind of read it a little bit to figure it out, but so this is also the E3 where they announced the Game Boy Micro, which is cool too. So yeah, let's see. Okay, so it's actually describing right here like the Nintendo Wii. It's like Nintendo's next console turns the world of video games on its side. Due in 2006, the new console will be backwards compatible with Nintendo GameCube. Blah blah blah. Goes on to like talk about all of that. Kind of thing, and just talks about different games and just a variety of stuff for DS in that press release. There's also another press release right here that talks about, let's see here, this actually is like the announcement for the Wii itself. They call it Revolution. Revolution marries the heritage of innovation of future gaming, says Nintendo president, so on and so forth. So it's like talking about the Nintendo Wii. So really cool, because that's like where they announced it. And then what else do we got here? There's like all different kinds of press releases. This one is about Wi-Fi and the DS kind of thing. DS versions of Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, Tony Hawk, all planned by year's end kind of thing. So that's really cool right there. And then this one here is about the new Legend of Zelda game that was coming out, which is Twilight Princess. And meanwhile, Mario Parties and Dances and Soccer Ball and Baseball. It's like all the different like games that were coming out. From Super Smash Bros. Melee to Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. It's talking about like a whole bunch of different sales stats or whatever too. So that's really cool right there, all about the GameCube. Oh my goodness, there's another press release here. This one's talking about what? The Nintendo Game Boy Micro. So this is like the introduction of the Game Boy Micro. So that's pretty wicked right there, for sure. And then also this one here talks about the new features that are going to be in the now out of print Nintendo Power. So it's like, this is what the new Nintendo Power is going to look like. Also included in there is this Nintendo Power pin, so that's kind of neat. Something that probably came along with that document to do with Nintendo Power, so pretty cool right there. And so that was like all the stuff that was in that kit. I'm going to probably do like a better sort of thing. I'll get the camera set up on a tripod and kind of show you what's like on each page and everything like that. But that was a press kit that was found out of Toys. I'm pretty pumped about that. I know similar kits like that go for fairly decent amounts on eBay. This one I think is really cool just because it's like the announcement of the Wii. It's got like the announcement of the Game Boy Micro. Those are probably some of the main things, but then like a lot of the titles that they're talking about on the GameCube are like super hype, like quality, sort of well-remembered kind of titles. That's that whole press kit. Like I said, for that I paid $3, so I thought that was like a killer thing to find in a thrift shop. Never thought I'd find something like that. Probably one of the more unique items in my collection. But that's everything I got for you this time around. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.